This one's wife. Angola rejoices. No Meghan. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Angola. It's officially known as the Republic of Angola. It's a country on the west-central coast of southern Africa, and it's the second largest Portuguese-speaking country in both total area and population, and is the seventh largest country in Africa. It has faced struggles in recent years. After a protracted anti-colonial struggle from 1961 to 1974, Angola achieved independence in 1975 as a one-party republic. But then the country descended into a devastating civil war the same year between the ruling People's Movement for the Liberation of Angola, backed by the Soviet Union and Cuba, the insurgent National Union for the Total Independence of Angola, an originally Maoist and later anti-communist group supported by the United States and South Africa, the militant organisation National Liberation Front of Angola, backed by Zaire, and the Front for the Liberation of the Enclave of Cabinda, seeking independence of the Cabinda Enclave, also backed by Zaire. That civil war rumbled on until 2002, and then has emerged as a relatively stable constitutional republic. And apparently its economy is amongst the fastest growing in the world. Prince Harry's gone out there, but he hasn't gone with this one's wife, which, of course, might raise a few eyebrows. Why has he beat a path to Angola, but his wife hasn't gone with him? Well, according to reports, he determined that it was too dangerous for her to go. That's right. He explained that he's wary of the dangers for her, but also he wants to keep his work with Halo close to his chest. Apparently, Halo's really his thing. It means so much to him to be patron, and he just wants to keep his work with them to himself. Thus, has Harry put his foot down? Has Harry told this one's wife, "No, you're not coming. This is my gig. And besides, I'm concerned about your safety"? Well, the safety issue seems a little bit strange given the fact that she has been to Colombia and Nigeria with him, areas which are not necessarily known for stability and come with certain problems, as mentioned in parts passim. Furthermore, it's not as if she's actually going to be walking amongst live mines, and therefore wherever they might go for a photo opportunity will be made to look like it's a cleared area or is a confirmed cleared area with no danger, but they would wear all of the kit all the same for visual impact, naturally, as Diana did. Now you might think to yourself, well, hang on a second. This one's wife would surely be getting Harry in a headlock and tasering his pink pods and rubbing the top of his balding pate and saying, "Harry, listen to me, you balding mofo. I'm coming to Angola because I'm channeling your mum's ghost, okay?" You would think that the lady that ordinarily cosplays Diana, Princess of Wales, would be champing at the bit to go to Angola and dress up wearing a halo emblem and a face visor and a body protective armor, etc., and walk just like Diana did all of those years ago. Surely that would be too great for her to resist the opportunity to engage in more Diana duplication, to assert control over the audience by saying, "Oh, look how thoughtful she is, caring about the landmines, drinking in the fuel, managing the facade, and engaging in character trait acquisition with regard to Diana, Princess of Wales." Surely Harry saying, "This is my gig and I want to keep it to myself," isn't going to keep her away. After all, Invictus was meant to be his gig, and how many times has she turned up at that and turned it into this one's wife games? No. Although it might be stated that Harry has expressed a view with regard to safety and wanting to keep the Halo gig to himself, this one's wife hasn't gone because her narcissism deems that it's not appropriate enough for her to do so. First of all, it means getting engaged in travel and going to Africa, which isn't one of her favourite places because it doesn't fit with the glamour that she believes that she's entitled to. She sees herself as a Hollywood A-lister, and that's where she wants to be. Wandering around in scrubland in Angola is not high on her list of priorities. The problem also is that she would actually be playing second fiddle. Because while she is keen to engage in the Diana duplication, the fact is that were she to attend, what would be people talking about? They would be talking about Diana, not her. They would be talking about Harry's extending the legacy of Diana and not her. She needs to be able to go to a place and make it her own. For instance, with the Ingrifters Games, she was able to turn up and successfully divert attention onto herself. That's all part of what she does. But in respect of going to Angola, it will be much harder for her to turn the attention onto herself because she'd be dealing with a much bigger beast, even though the lady died some nearly 28 years ago. The press would be talking about Diana. The press would be talking about Harry. The press would be talking about how it's Harry's charity. And even though she would try and make it about her, she'd be viewed as a tag-along. The distance that she would have to travel, along with the fact that her narcissism doesn't see any appreciable benefits, means that she hasn't gone. The spin is, I'm staying because Harry thinks it's too dangerous because he cares about me. Harry's probably relieved not to have to spend as much time with her. Or it could also be symptomatic of the fact, as many people suspect, that they aren't actually together at the moment, and that's why she hasn't attended. But we don't have any credible, direct evidence of that being the case. It's just speculation. There is a degree of force behind it, but it is still speculation. But what is clear, that ordinarily you would think that this one's wife would jump at the chance to go to an event such as this, but the reason that she hasn't is because her narcissism deems that it isn't going to be acceptable to her. Remember, and never lose sight of this, her decision-making process is always affected by, quite simply this, what's in it for me? And by what's in it for me, we mean, what does she get out of it by way of control, fuel, character traits, and residual benefits, the prime aims? If her narcissism deems that there's going to be a threat to her control, basically the ghost of Diana, that the fuel that she will receive is likely to be affected by the presence of the ghost of Diana, and that it will affect facade management, indeed put a strain on facade management, and there's no direct residual benefit, her narcissism simply says there's no point going to Angola, because remember, she's got no emotional empathy. There's no emotional empathy saying, support your husband, because he should be supported. She only goes to support her husband to make herself look good and take things over. She doesn't care about the victims of the landmine or the people of Angola. They're irrelevant, only to the extent that they serve a purpose for her. And thus, Angola can rejoice because there is no this one's wife, but it's not because Harry told her to stay at home. It's because her narcissism deemed there was nothing in it for her, and thus stay at home she did. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.